Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really digging into something interesting in the pro video world, specifically the Bluefish444 BLF-REST API. We're looking at how it lets people control serious video capture gear, basically just using, a web browser. Our mission to kind of unpack how this API and the net access client that comes with it acts as this vital link. It pulls specialized hardware into the more familiar world of web control.
Exactly. And for you listening, this is a really neat look at system architecture in action. Think about it high-end media workflows, like, say, frame-accurate video ingest with their in-store software. Historically, that stuff's been pretty locked down, proprietary systems. But now we're seeing this shift. It's moving towards web standards, network control, and that fundamentally changes how these big, complex systems get managed.
Okay, all right. So let's unpack that key piece, the API itself, the BLF REST API. The sources call it a simple, easy-to-use JSON REST interface. Now, for folks maybe not deep in development, why are REST and JSON such a big deal here?
Well, it's really about simplicity and standardization. REST basically means the API uses standard, everyday web commands, the kind of thing your browser uses to fetch a web page. So not some complex custom software language you have to learn from scratch. And JSON, well, JSON is just a super common, lightweight way to structure data online.
Okay.
It's like the universal language for sending info back and forth on the web, putting those together.
Yeah.
It means external applications can talk to and control the in-store capture process without needing, a PhD in Bluefish internals.
Yeah.
It opens the door.
Right, opens the door. And that openness, that universality, that's actually what Bluefish used internally to build net access, isn't it? So this isn't just an API waiting for third parties. Bluefish built their own web controller with it. Net access basically becomes like a remote control running in your browser for, well, everything the main in-store desktop app can do.
Yeah, precisely. And what's really interesting there is the full backing for external and network control. That architecture means you can integrate in-store into larger workflows. You could be managing multiple capture machines from a central point over the network. It really supports moving away from needing someone physically at the machine for every little tweak or command.
Okay, that makes sense. And it immediately brings up, how widely can this be used, scope and accessibility. The sources are pretty clear here. It works across all the main web browsers, and not just on workstations, but servers and even mobile devices. What kind of possibilities does that mobile access unlock?
Oh, that's potentially huge. Think about field coordination, or maybe a producer needing quick status checks, or even triggering a recording remotely. But connecting it back to the bigger picture, the real target seems to be those existing software developers, the ones already making sophisticated workflow tools. Big broadcast schedulers, master control systems, media asset management, MAMs. For them, having a standard web API like this means they can integrate in-store control much faster. Fast to market is key. They're building on web tech they already understand instead of some unique proprietary SDK.
And it needs to handle different scales, right? Not just one box. The sources say it can control just a single in-store workstation, fine, but it also scales up to manage multiple connected in-store servers, like across a whole facility. There was also an interesting detail about monitoring, something like having full confidence in the capture status, no matter the network bandwidth.
Yes, that's a crucial point, because remote control is useless if you can't trust the feedback it's giving you, right? That mention of full confidence suggests they've really engineered it for reliability, even if the network conditions aren't perfect. It gives developers peace of mind that building remote monitoring using the API won't compromise their quality control.
Okay, so the tech sounds solid, it scales, it's reliable. But what about actually getting it, the commercial side? This isn't free software.
No, definitely not. It's a commercial product. The part number is BLF-REST-API, and the source is listed around $500. But the key thing logistically is the licensing. You need a REST API license for each in-store system you want to control via the API or use with net access. So yeah, if you have, say, 3 capture servers you want to integrate, that's 3 licenses. The sources do mention it comes with things like free USA shipping and a 3-year Bluefish444 warranty, which is decent support for a critical piece like this.
Right. So boiling it down for the listener, what's the main takeaway here? It seems like the BLF REST API is essentially the bridge. It uses standard web language JSON REST to make a pretty complex capture system in-store, controllable from basically anywhere with a web browser. It standardizes control.
That's it in a nutshell. It's about accessibility and integration using common tools. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. If this kind of API is letting web browsers control professional high-end broadcast capture hardware, what does that tell us? It implies that the barriers, complexity, and even cost barriers to controlling really high-end media production tools, they might be coming down quite significantly. Makes you wonder what other traditionally closed hardware systems are getting ready to make that same jump to web-based control next.